Melissa, can you tell us a bit about what you're doing at the conference, what you're bringing, a bit about your background?
Sure. I am a doctor, medical doctor, and I was a GP over 20 years ago, but for the last 20 years I've worked just with young people. I do a once a week clinic with at-risk and homeless young people in Sydney, and the other rest of the week I am a senior lecturer with the University of Sydney, where I do research and teaching in adolescent health, adolescent sexual health in particular. And the other little bit of a side job that I've been doing for also over 20 years is that I write the answers to Dolly Doctor questions.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking to Dolly Doctor right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Hi.
So how many questions do you get sent in to Dolly Doctor? You would be seeing a lot.
Look, I think they get thousands. So I'm not employed by the magazine. I'm sort of like a contracted consultant. So they are the ones that deal with all the questions. But last time I checked, it would be like 1,000 or more emails a month that they would get. So they filter through them, the staff who work for the magazine, and they select the ones that they want me to answer, and they just send them to me and I answer them and send them back. So sometimes they have a theme, like might be relationships or sexual health or mental health, but sometimes it's just whatever comes. So there's all sorts of questions from puberty and periods right through to how do I talk to my mum, or physical health, mental health, sexual health, everything.
Yeah. Have you seen a change in the kind of questions that you're getting or the kind of concerns that young people are having in the last few years since kind of the internet became part of in the pocket, so to speak, and what's been happening with that?
Look, the answer to that is yes and no. I think over 20 years, a lot of the really basic, fundamental themes haven't changed. So there's still a lot of anxiety about puberty and what's happening to my body, and how do I talk to my mum about sex, or does this person like me? How can I tell if a boy likes me? How can I tell if I'm gay? Those sorts of themes really haven't changed. What I have seen change is, and I think this is because of the internet, is that when it comes to questions about sex and sexual health, there's actually a lot more information out there. So the young people who write questions into Dolly Doctor actually kind of have heard a lot more words and expressions, so they kind of seem to know a lot more, and they're quite explicit in what they ask about, but in fact they're still actually asking, what is this all about? So yes and no. I think there is more information, there's a bit more knowledge, but how to apply that in their actual lives is still something that's what they're seeking help about.
And they need to be having conversations with trusted adults or people that they
very
can talk
much
to.
So. And look, if my children have teased me over the years, as have young people, saying, go and talk to an adult you can trust, because that's nearly always at the end of my answers. But the message is, look, it's great to have an anonymous and confidential place like Dolly Doctor, and there's other, there's lots of good websites now that young people can go to ask those questions, such as the Play Safe website in New South Wales. But I think that what I try to encourage young people to do is a couple of things. One is to really identify who in their life is the adults that they can trust. Hopefully it's a parent, at least one parent, but it might be a teacher, it might be a sports coach, dance teacher, somebody like that, or a relative, and really identify those people and don't be afraid to go and ask them. The other is to be aware of health services and the fact that they're entitled to confidential health care, even if they're under 16, depending on what it is, and as long as they're safe, they are actually entitled to go and see a doctor or a nurse or a health professional, counsellor, and they can't disclose that information to anybody.
Wow, that's a really important thing for young people to get to know, and that's the kind of information that's available at the conference?
It is, very much so, and it's also available online on the PlaySafe website, and you can even go and ask your doctor, well, what's confidential and what isn't, and a doctor should be able to give you that answer quite truthfully.
Beautiful. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.